You are listening to the audio production of Gospel-Centered Family, Becoming the Parents God Wants You to Be, by Tim Chester and Ed Moll, published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by the Good Book Company and is read by David Holdt. Introduction. Children are great. No, really they are. Of course, they sometimes drive us up the wall. Just mind then. But we still love them to bits. Parents are great too. It's true that a few are abusive, but most have a profound love for their children. Of course, we're fallible. Make that very fallible. Even if we do claim Mom knows best. But we try to do our best for our children. Parenting is tough. Families offer security, acceptance, safety, love, but they can also be places of conflict, defiance, suspicion. This is a book about gospel-centered families. The word gospel means good news, so this is a book offering good news for families. It offers ideas to help you negotiate the sometimes troubled waters of family life. But our good news is more than good advice. It's more than tips based on experience. It's about the good news of life, hope, forgiveness, and freedom in Jesus, and how this good news impacts family life. The Bible isn't a manual on parenting. You can't look under D for discipline or T for teenagers. The Bible is a story. The story of God's salvation. It tells the story of the creation of the world, the rebellion of humanity, the promises God made to Israel, and the coming of God's Son, Jesus. It tells us how God designed the world, what's gone wrong, and how God is putting the world right again through Jesus. This book shows how this wonderful story intersects with the story of your family. The Bible story can become the story of what God designed your family to be, what goes wrong in your family, and how God can put your family right again through His Son, Jesus. There are two common, contrasting approaches to parenting. Some people emphasize that every family is different, and so parents need to make it up as they go along. Other people emphasize biblical absolutes, and so prescribe precise techniques. The reality is, there are biblical absolutes, but at the level of principles rather than processes. Good parenting is not about adopting certain techniques. It's about living as part of God's story and letting God's good news shape your values, attitudes, and behavior. Families come in all different shapes and sizes. Two parents, single parents, step-parents, several children, an only child, stepchildren. We tried not to assume every family fits the two parents with 2.4 children mold. We recognize that single parents face extra challenges while stepchildren raise their own unique issues. But to make life easier, we'll sometimes speak of your child, sometimes of your children, of a parent and parents. One more thing before we begin. We've divided the book into lots of short chapters to make it easy to listen to between changing diapers and cleaning up vomit or giving lifts and washing sports kit. The short chapters also mean you could listen to it as a couple after a long day. If you want to listen to it as a group, you might consider combining chapters, though you may find you have enough to talk about together, taking one chapter at a time. Don't have more than 10 people for each leader. Parents can feel quite vulnerable talking about family life, so agree to some ground rules. We will keep confidences. Celebrate our children rather than talk them down. Support our spouse rather than undermine them.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?